that you're doing it on purpose. Sing like a singing on key. Talk to the girl that intimidates you. Pretend that you're brilliant and charming. I said pretend that you're brilliant and charming. Hey!
Yes, everybody, welcome. Later with Jason Suel. Welcome to your Saturday night or whatever time you are watching the show on the web. Just side note, you can find us out there on YouTube. All of our episodes are there. Just search Later with Jason Suel. But welcome to the show. We got a great one lined up. Before we talk about our guests on this fantastic episode, Bo Counts is here. As always, Bo, great to see you.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's springtime. We're here. We're doing it. It feels the same as it has for a while. I'm on a screen. We're making it. We're making it.
I'm on a screen. A little Zoom fatigue setting in for everyone, I feel like, during this time. Here's a question for you, because we're going to be getting into this content a little bit later in the show. A lot of movies, television shows, they have sort of a fandom, right? I mean, you think of your Star Wars, your Star Treks, your Harry Potters. You got your
culture.
Culture.
It's
yeah.
culture.
Do you have one that kind of stands above the rest for you personally? Are you a superhero guy? Are you a sci-fi guy? What do you think?
For me, I mean, sci-fi, I do love sci-fi and fantasy, but, you know, as being a film historian, studying the film, working in film, like just movies themselves, there's people that are just fans of film. We have our own subculture, and we're not like those people that go, oh man, I love movies, and they only like, you know, Fast and the Furious or whatever. Like, really believing in movies, that's a culture of its own.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And folks, if you haven't checked Bo out at the Drive-In Speaker Box, they do a podcast, kind of web show, and he gives all of his insights on movies across all genres.
More than you'd probably want.
More than you probably even want to know, but you got to check it out. You know, some movies that have come out that I was really excited about, I mean, we had Kong versus Godzilla. We've had the Snyder Cut of Justice League recently.
Oh, yeah. Movies are starting to come out again.
Yeah.
It's been so long.
I know. It's been so long because it was like, hey, we're going to release that, and then they pulled the release back, and then they waited.
Psych.
Yeah. And then sometimes they gave us another psych, like Black Widow. Like that was going to be released.
I mean, we're still waiting for Dune.
We are still waiting for Dune. Tears, right? I'm ready for that one to drop. But hey, we're going to get to be able to talk about all of that on tonight's show, because joining us, we've got the amazing Stephanie Ashley. Stephanie is the assistant news director at Fox 24 and sister station KNWA, and she is a bit of a movie buff herself, so we're going to get to visit with her about all of that stuff.
We're going to challenge her movie buffness.
Yes, absolutely we are. Our musical guest tonight, we've got Ashton Barbary. Ashton's been a friend of the show for so long, and she's doing amazing things. She's a musician here who makes her living really being a musician, which is saying a lot with someone with that kind of dedication.
It's hard. It's hard work.
It is. So she's going to join us on the show. And then the one and only chef, Matt McClure from The Hive up in Bentonville. Amazing location, amazing chef, and he's going to make some absolutely fantastic food for us on the show today. So that's it, man. That is going to fill our episode, and I wish Matt's food would fill my belly because I'm so hungry right now, right? But we'll do it virtually. We'll do it on Zoom, and we hope that you will stick around because all that stuff is happening later.
Sam's Furniture doing good. Shine a spotlight on your neighborhood.
Well, we are here at Sam's Furniture, and we've got Jenny Sorey from Hub of Hope. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, thanks for having me, and thank you to Sam's for providing the opportunity.
Man, we love it here. They always set us up so nice. They put us on a really comfy couch
Very
today.
comfy, very
Yeah,
comfy.
Very comfy. Tell us about the work Hub of Hope does in our community.
I would love to. So we are a nonprofit based here in Northwest Arkansas. We work to bring healing and opportunities to victims of human trafficking, and we provide prevention and education to the community. So we do that in a variety of ways. We do a lot of awareness and and education events where we teach the public to recognize the markers and identifiers of human trafficking. And then we also do lots of outreaches. Our hope is to come in contact with survivors, many who don't even know that they're a victim of a crime, and help them move from that place of entrapment, enslavement, exploitation into a life of freedom and restoration and healing.
Well, say I wanted to get involved. How would I do it?
Hey, we love volunteers. In fact, at this time, we are an all-volunteer organization. And so you could reach us on hubofhope.org, and we're also on social media at Hub of Hope NWA.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jenny. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
you.
me. Boom. Hey.
Ooh.
Come on.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back Later with Jason Suel. So glad that you're tuned in, wherever you're tuning in from, on television, on the web, whatever platform you're using to join the show tonight. We're glad right now that Stephanie Ashley is joining us on this show. Now, Stephanie Ashley, she is the assistant news director at Fox 24 and the sister station KNWA. Thanks for joining us, Steph.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So for our viewers, and even for myself who gets confused sometimes, kind of explain your role there at the news station. What is it that you do as the assistant news director?
Sure. Well, so our news director is Lisa Brentz. She's the one that runs the newsroom. She makes all the decisions as far as hiring, what kind of stories we do on a daily basis, things like that. So the easiest way to explain my job would be like, I'm the number 2. So as the assistant news director, I do more of like scheduling, also helping to approve stories. So like what you see every day on the news that goes on the air, we have to make those decisions on, okay, so what is news, what isn't news, what's more important to the people of Northwest Arkansas, that kind of thing.
Jacobson, not another cat in the tree story again. You know.
Absolutely. We get to do some fun stuff too, like our Good Day NWA show, which Jason might be familiar with.
Yes.
So yeah, we get to help make decisions there and get guests in and do fun things like searching for the giant Ron Burgundy and a king cake.
Yes,
like
that was one of my favorite moments of, I don't know, the past couple weeks was that moment on Good Day NWA. If you haven't seen that clip, check it. It's out there. Stephanie joins us for a Mardi Gras segment. Hey, let's move on. I know something that's really kind of important to you. I would say important. I don't know if that's the right word, but it feels like it's the right word. But we're going to talk about all things movies and kind of dive into some of your passions, because I know that you love the MCU, you're loving Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
But
Right.
when Jason was telling me that you were a big Trek fan, it's like the one question that you always have to ask a Trekkie is, what's your favorite series?
Sure. I grew up on Next Generation, so that is my favorite series of all time. But I'll tell you, I really like Deep Space Nine.
That's what I
Deep
was
Space
waiting
Nine,
for.
Of course, it was made ahead of its time. So Deep Space Nine was made before we were able to stream shows, in a single bound. So it didn't resonate very well when it was released on television, because the storylines went on for sometimes 2 to 3 seasons, and people didn't like that back then.
Have you been to like a Trekkie convention?
Here's my experience with me at conventions. You think these are people that I grew up with, right? So I see them and it's like I know them, but they don't know me. So when I would walk up to them, like Gates McFadden, who played Beverly Crusher in The Next Generation, was the first person that I saw. She's sitting in like the big convention room, signing some autographs or whatever. I approach the table, I make eye contact with her, and she says hello, and I immediately go, and I have to turn and walk away. Like I couldn't move. I literally was frozen, and with my mouth open, and she was just like, okay. So I ducked my head, walked off.
Here's a question, flipping over to maybe Harry Potter. I'm interested, you probably know this specifically because you've probably been on the website. What's your Patronus?
My Patronus, it's like this little bird. It's like a finch. It was really embarrassing, actually. So I'm a Slytherin, is the house that I was sorted into.
Slytherin.
Anyone that knows me will tell you that's 100% accurate.
Oh, yes.
So then I was like, I'm going to figure out my Patronus. And I was like, what? This little bird? Yeah,
I know. I went on the website and typed it all in, and my Patronus was a mole. So I don't know. dig holes into people, burrow in people's hearts? What do I do? I don't know. If you were to choose one though, it doesn't have to be a finch. What would you want your Patronus to be?
Well, I mean, I think everybody fandom-wise probably leans toward it, the doe or the stag or something cool like that.
Yeah.
I think like a bald eagle would be awesome, like something very majestic.
And I think it would look really cool coming out of a wand too. Just be like, and just fly out in a straight line.
Right. It's so something awesome that comes out, or I don't know. Something majestic like that. I think
that's a good one. You wanted the big soaring kind of bird of prey, and you got this tiny little bird that sits on a limb and
it's like
chirps.
Cheep, cheep.
Yes.
Go away.
Yeah. Bocouts, what about you? What would you pick as a Patronus for yourself?
Oh, I mean, I've always liked large cats, like panthers, cougars, tigers, oh my, all of the things. So just pick a large cat, particularly one with menacing teeth, and yes, that would be my Patronus.
So the MCU, can you pick? There are so many. Can you pick a favorite superhero from that whole world?
Overall, I would honestly say Star-Lord is probably my favorite. I love the way Chris Pratt plays him, but just overall, like his attitude, I think is hilarious. His sarcasm, which is something I relate to.
Yes.
Overall, I think Star-Lord is my favorite. I think a lot of people blamed him too harshly for the whole Thanos thing. But no, I think he's a great character. Oh, that little thing.
Yeah. Stephen, it's been wonderful just to hang out with you and get your insight on all this stuff. I can't wait to see you again. I'll see you on Monday. So thanks for hanging out with us.
On Monday, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Stick around, folks. We got more happening later.
Smith & Associates Real Estate is a proud sponsor of Later with Jason Suel. They're excited to be a part of the growth and continued success in Northwest Arkansas.
1, 2, 3. If you think you love me, you don't know me. I'll let you back and over and over. How much forgiveness do you need? I haven't buried nothing. I remember everything, mostly things that I don't want to see. I'm starting over all the time. If you think you love me, you don't know me. Trouble is neither do I.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We got to get our food on. It's time to eat, and we've got the chef from the Hive, Matt McClure, joining us. Hey, chef, how's it going?
Hey, great, Jason. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing well. I'm so sad that we're not in the same space, so we can't taste this amazing dish you're going to put together. But you were telling me in the break, this is kind of like the perfect springtime dish. What are you going to be putting together for us?
So I've got some like fresh English peas. We're going to be mixing that with a little bit of ricotta cheese and like smear that on toast. So it's like these great little spring bites. We're going to also put a little of our house-made bacon on them just because, you know, why not, right?
It seems like the only way to eat peas. I remember when I was a kid, I would mash them into my potatoes, put the cheese on them, smear it up. It's just a really grown-up way of eating your peas.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
well,
is. Very, very grown up, yeah.
yeah, you go ahead and walk us through it. Get started whenever you're ready, Matt. I can't wait to see.
I've got the green peas. I've already kind of just run my knife through them a little bit, so they're kind of mixed up. So I'm just going to add that first. I've got a little ricotta cheese that I'm going to put in there. And that, you know, obviously it's like a creamy component, but it's also a binder. And then lots of herbs. It's, you know, springtime. Herbs are great any time of the year, but I feel like, you know, definitely during the spring. So I've got some fresh parsley chopped up. Fresh mint, you know, mint peas. How can you not do?
Yeah, everybody's sitting on the patio enjoying herb this season.
Exactly. You know, with your card, right? And then a little bit of oregano, fresh oregano. And so at this point, you know, I like to kind of get it started, get it mixing. I've got a couple of more ingredients that I'm going to add in there. But essentially everything is cooked. And, you know, try to like show, you know.
Yeah, that's great.
It's very green. Yeah. And I've got, I'm going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in here too. Kind of gives it just a little bit of richness. Also, you know, can't do anything without salt.
Gotta have
Salt.
the salt. Gotta have the salt.
Love the salt.
Gotta have your seasoning. And I've also got, you know, people ask like, what's the secret ingredient? I'm going to tell you what the secret ingredient
Here goes drum roll.
It's the secret ingredient. Okay. So basically it's shallots that we've cut real thin and we've macerated them in some red wine vinegar.
Oh.
So it kind of softens them. It takes sort of the rawness, but it still gives a little bit of a crunch. And I mean, it just kind of gives you, you know, a little sweetness, just another dimension of flavor. Oh,
Something's beeping.
Yeah.
That's the toast. That's the toast.
Toast
okay?
is ready.
Toast is done.
Yeah. Toast is ready. Coming to you from my home kitchen here. So.
And I love it. Your kitchen's beautiful, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you. I will say one piece of equipment that I have that I love. I didn't grow up with it, but my wife's family have it. Is the toaster oven. I mean, it's amazing. You know,
If you have a
toast, but it does so many things else.
If you have a toaster oven, you don't need a microwave. That's what I tell people. Like, get rid of your microwave and get a toaster oven.
Yeah. No, it's so true. So true. So I'll put a little bit of lemon juice in here as well.
A little acid, gotta have it.
Yeah. So great citrus sweet notes. And then you can kind of see, you know, the mixture is nice. It's creamy. You know, gotta taste.
Yeah, you got to taste. You got to check it before you wreck it, right? Make sure it's good.
That's supposed to be my job.
I wish you were here.
Well.
It's so good. Okay. Now my toast.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that.
Your toast is
Perfect.
beautiful, too. Everything you do is so gorgeous. My toast doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it's the filters and all
Right.
you know, just everything looks better, right?
Yeah, it's the Zoom filters we have going on right here.
Yeah. So, you know, just like my kids, I have to cut their crust off too.
Right.
So got a nice little square. I feel like the triangles, you know, if you do like a good triangle,
yes.
you know, it's kind of a more substantial bite.
It's just geometrically sound.
And it looks pretty. Yeah.
Anybody that cuts it in strips is a barbarian.
You know, it just, structurally it doesn't make sense.
Nope.
You know, one side's going to be too weighted and, you know.
Pythagoras didn't do all that work so we could eat on bread strips.
Okay, so I've got the bases here, and then the last thing. Also, the other secret ingredient. You gotta have a lot of secret
Yeah,
ingredients.
bring it all together. What is it?
Cast iron bacon.
So bacon. There we go.
I
Oh,
could smell
yes.
it from
Look
here.
at that. The layers.
Tweezer bacon is
Oh,
the best.
tweezer
bacon.
bacon.
Why do I get my hands? My hands. Got to protect your hands. So
That's right.
This is it. You get a good shot here.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's just a chunk of deliciousness, and I'll probably put a little bit more chopped parsley on it. Just
Oh yeah,
as a little garnish
for Instagram.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that.
beautiful.
And
For the
on
gram.
a rock and everything.
You got a
And
gram.
then you serve it on a slate, because everybody has slates at their house,
Of
right?
course.
Yeah.
Of course. And if not, just grab one from out in the shale flats. Yeah, there you go. Right up by the railroad tracks.
Head over to the Shale Flats. Grab yourself a slate. Matt, that looks delicious. Thanks for taking the time. And hey, you got to check him out, folks. The Hive. They're at 21C in Bentonville. You always make amazing food, Chef. Really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Jason.
Yeah, you bet. Stick around, folks. We got more happening later. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Later with Jason Suel. Remember, you can find us out there on your social media platforms. You can send us an email over at laterwithjasonsuel.com. You can watch all of our previous episodes over on YouTube. Just search Later with Jason Suel. And before we leave this episode, we've got to thank all of our guests, including the amazing Stephanie Ashley, joining us to talk all things movies.
And of course, Matt McClure showing us how to eat our peas adultly.
That's right. And the sweet sounds of Ashton Barbary on the show. That's our show. We'll see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
Now, how do you do this Rubik's Cube?